Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently 57,480, up 1.84%. Ethereum up 2.39% to 3606. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, and also gain real wealth in the process. Rule 774, master yourself to master the market. This is a critically important rule. Mastering yourself is all about balance. When we look at real wealth is much more than money. Money is definitely security and vitally important, but also real wealth components are vital too, such as inner and outer peace, gratitude, happiness, generosity, empathy and love, fulfillment and meaning. That's what we focus on inside our community. You can literally have it all. Rule 129, act courageously on probability. Probability is the absence of certainty. As JFK said, the one unchangeable certainty is that nothing is unchangeable or certain. That means in life, everything is literally uncertain, and therefore, fearful. To live without fear, we must first learn to live with fear. This is especially true in trading and investing. Looking at KS zone analysis, the 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth, Zone 3 is the one we're interested in, probabilistic fearlessness. Now, what does that really mean? It means that we need to act on probability because certainty is a trap. Zone 3 requires that people replace certainty with the probability of hope. And then we need to fearlessly act on probability. Unfortunately, Zones 1 and Zone 2 require 100% certainty and people to be 100% correct 100% of the time with 0% loss. That's like literally hitting the bullseye on a dartboard every single time you throw a dart. It's not possible. We say that the light switch kind of behavior dominates Zone 1 and Zone 2. People are all in or all out. When we go to Zone 3 and Zone 4, Zone 3 is all about probabilistic fearlessness. It's really all about probabilities. It's about gradually scaling in and gradually scaling out of trades and investments. It's about patience and discipline, awareness that things may be brewing on the horizon, but just acting with the probabilities presented. It's about having a plan for the upside and the downside and sticking to it. Looking at investment substitutability, the S&P 500, the proxy for stocks, up 24% in the past year. Gold repairing, it's only down 6% in the past 12 months. It's getting better. And Bitcoin up 399% in the past 12 months. We're starting to see some action in the Bitcoin and Ethereum combined market capitalization chart. We can see that we're just getting over that line of positive momentum. Things are improving. We came down, retested this major line of structural repair many times, and now we've just got over the line of positive momentum. This is a really good thing for the market. We expect, based on the probabilities, that higher prices are coming for the crypto market. We also have to be aware that in 11 days, we'll see if Evergrande and the Chinese property market falls into default. Also, in about 44 days, the debt ceiling issue is still remaining to be solved on December the 3rd. These are just things that we bear in mind. That's why we have to have a case for the up and the downside, but we act fearlessly in terms of the probability. We're getting above this line of positive momentum. This is a really, really good sign. It's also important to note Rule 170, crypto is volatile. Going back to the last bull run, even when crypto is going up, to see 20, 30, 40% drawdowns, even 50% drawdowns is really common. We have to prepare ourselves for that. That's why we use Rule 94, let price come to you. you can just be really cool and understand that buying in layers is a way better option than buying at market. Looking at Bitcoin's technical analysis, we see the current price 57,585. We're getting up to a level of resistance that will come into play around the $59,000 mark. We have a level of overhead resistance at 58,038. We have quite strong support at 56,909, 55,899, and around the $55,000 mark. Please take note that because crypto is volatile, we can see massive up and down swings. That's why we look at lower potential support levels around the 52,658 mark and the psychological 50,000. Everything is set for Bitcoin to seek to take out this higher resistance level that will come into play around 59,000. When we get above 59,394, that is a really good sign. But always be aware of the risks and have an upside and a downside risk strategy in play. Turning to Ethereum, Ethereum is currently trading at 35.98. It's above support at 35.90. We saw it previously come back to test support around 33.94. It's done very well to get above this resistance line. That was the line we wanted it to get above. It's taken out the 35.90, seeking to turn it to support. The next major barrier is the 36.49 mark. This is quite key to get above that. Ethereum has been struggling to get above that number for a while. When we get above the 3,700 mark, things are looking good. Always be aware of the risks and have an upside and a downside risk strategy in play. That quite frankly means that if you're an investor and you're seeking to hold, keep on holding. That's fine. If you're a trader, you may seek to take profits if things are not looking in your favor. You gain a feel for the market. We can see Ethereum has quite good support at the 33.19 mark. This doesn't mean that we're expecting 33.19. It just means it's a good support level. Looking at the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio SSR oscillator, we can see that stablecoins are coming into the market and there's a bit of a decrease in the rate at which stablecoins are flowing into Bitcoin. Looking at futures open interest across all exchanges, you'll notice the white line here, that's the price of Bitcoin, and these orange bars are actually total open interest across all exchanges. We're seeing a total open interest of 19.5 billion. The current figure is 20.44 billion. This means that we expect, on the basis of probability, that the prices will go up. 24-hour liquidations were $209.18 million, occurring across 47,562 trading positions. Around 76% of liquidations were short, and we can see that we've had relatively low liquidations as a rule in the past couple of weeks. I mentioned that we were looking for larger volumes around the $1 billion mark to confirm trend change. Just to answer that question, you can see when a lot of shorts get liquidated, they actually increase the price. You can see the price increasing up to here. When did it stop? With this big liquidation of longs. What happens when longs get liquidated? They have to sell, and that price comes down, and we see more and more of that occurring. When we have large short liquidations, that tends to push the price up through the roof. That's what we're looking for. We always keep our eye on the stable coins. We can see USDT starting to come back into circulation, starting to get a little bit of a drop off in USDC. BUSD has a certain drop off too, and DAI is relatively flat. We look at the stable coins because central bank digital currencies are a threat to the stable coins, as well as potential regulation. Tether is embedded deeply into the crypto ecosystem. we can see that the total futures open interest is around 70 million. This is nothing for a $68 billion asset class, and we can see there's no significant shorting here. This basically means that Tether is safe for today. You can also see the Fear and Greed Index is currently at 70. Rule 109, Enhance Pattern Recognition. I'm going to extend this analysis to give you a preemptive view of the market. We start by looking at the top 33 on Binance. We can see Axie Infinity up in front here. It's just passed over this level of resistance. We would imagine that that price momentum would continue to the upside. We can see DOT doing really, really well, a bit of profit taking. Bitcoin is coming up. VET and XLM are also coming up. Underneath Bitcoin, BNB, XTZ, THETA, XRP, Ethereum. When we talk about probabilistic fearlessness, it's really important that in order to attain real wealth, you must overcome setbacks, losses, and disappointment. That means when it comes to pulling the trigger, let the probabilities guide you. What are the probabilities telling you on these particular charts? When we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin has been doing very, very well. We can see Ethereum starting to challenge that upper peak. We can see Binance Coin being preemptive like what it was previously, turning around, well, basically indicating that Bitcoin was potentially turning around. We can see that Binance Coin is charging up. Now, what do we notice about all the other top 8? Cardano consolidated around the $2.10 mark. It's nearly back to $2.19. We can see XRP forming a very strong base around the 104.24 mark. It's now 113.72. It's basically cleared this resistance. It's overcome downward resistance here. It's looking like a very good chart. It's going to be interesting to see what XRP does. Solana. We can see Solana has been in a bit of a downtrend. Now, what are we noticing? If BNB is signifying the move up in the crypto market, as we expected yesterday, and we talked about that in the last session, if you look at this up and down arrow just before it took off, and then go back to Bitcoin, I was saying, does BNB signify, like it did back here, that BTC is going to take off again? Is it an early warning signal? And indeed it was. These are some of the hidden tips and tricks that I use. So looking at Sol is substantially down, but what do we expect here? Is Bitcoin's gravity going to pull it up? Absolutely no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity, but it does take time. If you go into here and you expect the next minute for it to go up 20-30%, you will be disappointed, or you may be disappointed. I would love it if Sol rallied, but you just have to be aware of the probabilities. Looking at Doge, Doge is moving and has been moving very much in step with Bitcoin's fingerprint. It's not surprising that it's picked up here. DOT has been doing really, really well. Congratulations to everybody yesterday who thought that DOT was a good thing to get into. We talked about it around here. DOT, we mentioned it looked pretty strong. It had good upward support. And now if you've been involved in DOT, you're probably up about 20%. Congratulations to those people. Going into the next 8, we can see Algorand is repairing. It's doing quite nicely. It's come back into sync with Bitcoin. We can see SHIB definitely following the directional bias of Bitcoin up until now. The price is a little bit muted. I would imagine after such a strong run up, people in SHIB are taking profits, but when it gets above 30.12, it's probably going to get going again. Let's have a look at Luna. Luna is quite depressed in terms of the variance between Bitcoin's fingerprint, here shown in sort of gold orange, and the Luna price. Now, what does the probability tell us? It tells us that there would be a time when these come back into synchronization. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. We can see that here with ALGO. ALGO was coming down. Bitcoin's gravity was pulling it up. I would expect to see this in Luna. But remember, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen right now. It could take a little bit of time to play out. As all things, everything is not instant, especially in markets. We can see Uni repairing very nicely. We can see AVAX in a similar position to Luna. It's really good to see these associations. Let's keep our eye on Luna and AVAX over the coming days to see what plays out there. In terms of pattern recognition, you can see Chainlink is repairing its price, but it's coming up to a lot of overhead resistance. Let's have a look at Litecoin. Litecoin is doing quite nicely. It's about midway through this resistance now. You want to get an idea of what to focus on. That's what this pattern recognition is all about. It's looking at the highest liquidity coins, the highest liquidity cryptos. That means you can get in and out quite easily. Looking at Bitcoin Cash, it's coming up to the bottom of this resistance. We could envisage that it could take a little bit of time because a lot of sellers would be there seeking to take profit or to try and short. Let's have a look at the next 8. What we're seeing with Stellar, XLM, XLM has followed Bitcoin's fingerprint really, really well. In fact, from a directional bias perspective, directional correlation, it's spot on. That means that we only have to look at Bitcoin to get an understanding of what XLM is doing. It's disproportionately repairing itself too. This is a very, very good sign. Stellar looks quite interesting. It's getting above this top level resistance. I think Stellar is one to watch. Having a look at MATIC. MATIC has been doing that downtrend, that variance, and starting to repair. I know a lot of people in the community just adore MATIC. I think MATIC could be quite interesting. We've got a degree of resistance here playing from the 1,262 to the 1,336 level. Just be aware of that. Looking at Cosmos, Atom is doing the repair as well. You can see many of these charts echoing similar sentiment. Filecoin still in the downtrend, still underneath that resistance. It's not really repairing just yet, but all alts can't escape Bitcoin's gravity, so it's just a question of when. ICP has been looking incredibly weak. It's starting to do a bit of a repair here. These repairs can wobble around a bit, so just be aware of that. If we look at Axie Infinity, Axie Infinity is a really interesting crypto. I think what's going to happen here potentially is that we're seeing a overcoming of resistance and following Bitcoin's price here. It will be really interesting to see what AXS is going to do. It's a very, very strong project. FTX token, FTT, we can see that downward momentum starting to repair. We're over resistance. The probabilities favor that this is going up. Having a look at TRON. TRON, also very similar. You can see how much similarity is playing out with these particular tokens. After something like this may help you to actually focus in on what could be a good buying opportunity for you as a trader. And also, if you're an investor, what you really want to do is you want to buy when things are very low. You actually make money when you buy primarily rather than when you sell. I know that sounds really crazy, but it's absolutely true. Turning to the community favorites, please always do your own research when it comes to investing in any particular crypto. Because we put them here is not an endorsement of any particular crypto. It's just what the community likes to see. We can see THETA token. It's overcome resistance. It started its repair. It's doing quite well. Hit a level of resistance and has backed off. But this, once overcome, this resistance will signify prices above $7. Looking at Icon is doing really well here. It's holding up well. It is at a level of support in this particular price zone. And don't forget how much Icon has just rallied and rallied up. That's why I'm saying this price movement is very positive. Zilliqa, we're seeing that downward slope. You can see why pattern recognition is so critically important. You can see how different cryptos are repairing. EGLD, it's a very spiky chart, this particular one, which means that if you do the 10-5-10 fund or your layer buying, you may very well pick up something for a song. And it really depends on what you're doing. If you're trading or investing, those strategies are quite different. Investors are always better to buy on the reddest of all red days and hold for dear life. And traders will take profits when things become uncertain, and are always to cycle in and out of different cryptos. Phantom, FTM, we can see Phantom has done really well. It's just rocketed up and consolidating at the moment. What does that look like? If you do pattern recognition, you can see here with THETA, it rocketed up, consolidated, rocketed up, consolidated. What do we expect? What is coming next? Please let me know in the comments what you think with Phantom. Let's have a look at HBAR. What do we notice with HBAR? Very decisive downtrend. That downtrend is weakening. We can see that it's overcome resistance and starting to repair. Good on you. Very nice, Hedra. Let's have a look at Harmony One. Harmony One was absolutely rocking and rolling. It's at a level of support. It's always fantastic to buy at levels of support if you are so inclined. Nano. We can see Nano had a very substantial rally up here. It was consolidating, broke down, starting to repair. We can see these patterns playing out across the whole ecosystem. Let's take a quick look across the main market, starting with the VIX. The stock market's fear and greed index. We can see fear is coming up. This is from the crash of 2020, these big spikes on the VIX. We can see also that the dollar has pretty much taken out a double bottom and is on the way up. With the stock market, everything moves at a snail's pace. Nasdaq 100 is showing signs of repair. This is the futures market. The next level that it will try to get to is this resistance up here at around 15,000. We can see Bitcoin going from strength to strength. The T-bond futures, the bond prices, we can see before a crash, bond prices typically take off as a flight to safety. We can see the opposite occurring at the moment. When we look at the yields, the bond yields are moving inversely as expected. Gold futures, gold is consolidating around that 1733 mark, and we can see potentially gold might be in the process of actually repairing and breaking out. We've noticed that when we look at the gold price each day. It was around negative 10% at one stage. It's getting better. Light crude oil continues to rally. Going across to coin market cap, we currently have 12,683 cryptos, getting more and more by the day. Top market capitalization: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, ADA, Tether, XRP, Solana, DOT, USDC, DOGE, and Uni. Let's check out the greatest 24-hour percent gainers: TEL, DOT, Waves, Kusama, Stellar, Perp, VET, CRV, ALGO, Uni, and STX. Let's have a look at the greatest 7-day percent gainers: Stacks, 1, DOT, MDX, Waves, Perp, Phantom, TEL, BSV, Clayton, and Kusama. Let's have a look at the greatest losses past 24 hours. Harmony 1, MDEX, Luna, FTM, Arweave, Filecoin, Monero, Ren, DYDX, Sol, Axie Infinity. What about the greatest losses over the past 7 days? SHIB, ICP, Arweave, Rune, Luna, Ren, Mina, XDC, Helium, Flow, and Tezos. Looking at Binance derivatives, past 24-hour trading volume, about 82.4 billion and about 11.9 billion 24-hour open interest. When we look at these particular percentages, we're just seeing what kind of price pressure the cryptos are being experienced or being subjected to under the hood. Bitcoin and Ethereum are going up at about the same rate. It's like a differential calculus equation. Let's have a look at the perpetuals. The greatest gainers: SFP, Bell, DOT, Waves, KSM, XLM, and C98. Let's go the other way. Nothing above negative 10%, but Harmony 1 is getting smashed a little bit, but we know that is at support. When looking at the markets are full of suffering and they're full of uncertainty, fear, trepidation. The key: suffering either enslaves you or you release it to be free. This is a really important concept. If you find that you're trading or investing and you're suffering because of it, look more deeply into it. Are you seeking certainty? Are you going with probabilities? Trading and investing is perhaps one of the best things that any person could do for self-development without a question of a doubt. It's really good. It puts all the negative aspects in front of you and then you can deal with them. When you look at suffering, please think about yourself standing inside a cage, but you hold the key to the lock and the cage is just the cage of your mind. You can release suffering at any stage to be free. And you release it simply through understanding what is happening. I'd like to thank the very kind and generous community members who've reached out and bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. I'd just like to say a quick thank you to Joanna, Vicente, and Mark. Thank you so much, everyone. Feelings of positive self-worth are so critically important in mastering yourself to master the market. You are worthy and unique. This is how I see every member of our community. You deserve kindness, love, meaning, and every success in life. Flamingo Crypto had a very beautiful idea. She basically said, I changed the word you to I. I am worthy and unique. I deserve kindness, love, meaning, and every success in life. Thank you, Flamingo. That's really beautiful. And you do. As does everyone inside our community. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from and if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.